The cold seeped through the soles of his boots as he trudged through the woods, the flashlight in his hand casting long, shaky shadows on the trees. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, and the fog rolled in like a living thing, curling around his legs. He had been warned not to come here, not after dark, but he hadn't believed the stories. Now, he wasn't so sure. Somewhere in the distance, a twig snapped and he froze, his breath ragged in the silence. Then, through the trees, he saw it, a door. It was old and rusted, set into the trunk of a massive oak, and it looked as though it hadn't been opened in years. He approached it slowly, his heart hammering in his chest, and reached out to touch the cold metal handle. It turned easily beneath his hand. The door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit room. He stepped inside, his flashlight beam sweeping across the walls. The room was small, with a single chair in the center and a candle burning on a rickety table. The flame flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. He felt a chill run down his spine as he noticed something else. The walls were covered in photographs. They were old and yellowed, depicting people he didn't recognize. But then he saw one that made his blood run cold. It was a picture of himself. He spun around, but the room was empty. The candle guttered, and the shadows seemed to twist and move of their own accord. He heard a low, whispery voice, but it didn't seem to come from anywhere specific. "You shouldn't be here," it said. He tried to run, but the door was gone. In its place was only solid wood. The voice laughed, a sound that sent shivers down his spine. "You should have listened." The room began to darken, the candle's flame dwindling to nothing. He was alone in the blackness, the only sound his own panicked breathing. Then, faintly, he heard footsteps. They were heavy, deliberate, and they were getting closer. He waited, frozen, as whatever was making the noise drew nearer. The darkness seemed to press in around him, suffocating him. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, everything stopped. The silence was oppressive, heavy with anticipation. He knew he wasn't alone. Something was watching him, waiting for him to make a move. He tried to scream, but his voice caught in his throat. The last thing he heard was the sound of his own heartbeat before everything went black. When they found him the next morning, he was curled up on the forest floor, his eyes wide with terror. He never spoke of that night. But sometimes, in the dead of winter, when the fog rolled in thick and heavy, he would swear he could hear the sound of footsteps coming for him again.